It looks good.
Good.
Hi, I'm Jody,
And I'm Summer.
and we are Active Pursuit.
You don't seem very happy.
We're talking about anxiety. I'm kind of mirroring the feeling of the day, which is an anxious day.
Okay.
So I think it feels genuine to me.
Okay.
I mean, to act happy when we're clearly not doesn't feel very genuine, because the topic of today is anxiety.
Yeah.
And we've entered into this 21-day fitness and nutrition program. And one of the things that we have to do in this fitness and nutrition program is to monitor our intake of calories and grams of fat, protein, and carbohydrates. They're the macronutrients that every human needs to survive and to thrive. And we're trying to optimize them based on some algorithms that we've submitted our behavior and our eating behaviors and our goals to. So based on that, we have to really pay attention. If we're going to succeed in this endeavor, we're going to really have to pay attention to how we eat and what we eat, when we eat it, and how much of each of those macronutrients that we're going to eat.
And on Friday was day number 5 for us, and I had shared with Jody that I felt, I had actually gotten close to hitting my protein goal. So my protein goal is really high, and it's something I've never hit before. I was a vegetarian for almost 20 years of my life, and only have added meat back into my diet over the past decade or so because I have kids, but I have never been really much of a meat eater, just not inclined to do so. And from a taste perspective, texture perspective, and this diet doesn't allow for me to use plant-based proteins, or it kicks up my carbs too high. So I've really been struggling with hitting my proteins, and had shared with Jody that on day 5, I had only been successful or close to success on one of those 5 days. So we sat down on day 6, which was Saturday, and really spent a lot of time looking at in applications, looking online, really studying foods that would meet our goals. And we have different goals. Mm-hmm. So for example, your calorie goal is about 2 times as much as my calorie goal is overall.
Yeah.
And my percentage of protein in my goal is significantly higher than yours. And so although we're eating together, we're eating different kinds of, we can eat the same foods, but we're having to eat different things. Like for example, you're eating a rice bowl, and that's great for what your goal is, but I can't have any of the rice with it. So we're having to construct the meals a little bit differently. And it's been hard because I feel like I am a really good protein eater from a vegetarian perspective, but this has really been causing me a ton of anxiety, and I've never eaten, I've eaten as much meat in a day than I would eat in 2 weeks. And so that's been very, very different for me.
It actually too is, it's difficult to get the food in. The one point is to try to figure out how much it is that you have to eat. The next point is to actually eat that.
Oh.
And for me, it's 247 grams of protein every day. And just rough rule of thumb translates into 5 big pork chops every day. So it's just a lot of food, that's all.
A lot of food.
And at the same time, then you got to do your carbs. The carbs are roughly twice that. And then the fat is about the same, but that's a lot of fat to ingest too. So it's just you got to work and exercise. And Summer faces the same kind of thing, kind of the opposite direction though.
Right, because I have about 168 grams of protein, and I've never consumed that much in my life. And the types of proteins are limited because I don't have a huge fat content in mine. I'm like 50% protein right now, 25% fat, 25% carbs. So carbs I go through that very quickly, even in the protein powder supplements that we're using. And if I put anything on my food, that's carbs. So and then from a from a protein perspective, I'm pretty limited to like seafoods like tuna and shrimp. Chicken, even chicken's pumping up my fats. So I've been overdoing my fats. So it's a little confusing, and I think we'll probably go back to the nutritionist and try and figure this out a little bit. But right now, I think we're heading to the grocery store to see if we can find some things in the grocery store that would fit both of our diet requirements. So this 21-day challenge, I think the exercise part, interestingly enough, it's really high rigorous. So we're doing CrossFit 5 times per morning, and then 3 evenings at CrossFit. Usually during the work week, and then we're hitting 2 to 3 basketball games in the evenings or on the weekend. So that part, we only increased our exercise by 3 CrossFits a week, just adding an evening one. So that one we were able to handle. But the food, the eating part has been really, really hard.
Really challenging.
And I'm having a hard time. The other thing I think psychologically I'm trying to bump over is that the calorie demand that I was told to take is actually higher than I usually take, and yet I'm losing weight on this calorie demand, and I'm constantly eating, and I just can't. In my mind, I'm thinking if I keep eating like this, I'm going to gain too much weight. So I'm both feeling satiated and I'm feeling concerned about eating all of these calories, and actually I'm feeling a little bit gluttonous and just totally uncomfortable. So it'd be interesting. Maybe we'll have another conversation like this in next week. But this has been the topic of conversation this weekend because I've been so uncomfortable with the eating situation.
Yesterday, it just seemed like every we do a little work. We're working together in parallel, and we do a little work, then we eat, and then we come in and do a little work, and then we eat again, and not just a snack, just like 3 big ribs and a pile of mashed potatoes, and then you down some protein supplement and a glass of milk, and this is just every half hour that this keeps going. So it just feels weird. It's a weird rhythm for the day.
Now I will add that I started CrossFit. I've been playing basketball for a number of years, and then I started CrossFit. Jody introduced it to me in December, and I'd always been going to the gym, and most of the people that go to the gym with me actually look to me to guide our workouts, and our workouts are pretty rigorous. But since starting CrossFit, I feel like I was already fit going into it, but I think you were mentioning today even that my body is changing. And actually I've noticed, like with my girlfriends, when we go to play basketball, I'll take off my outer shirt and they'll comment that I look so much stronger, and they'll comment that even when I'm picking, that I'm stronger in the pick. So I'm definitely seeing a change, and it feels great. It's just getting there is so tough. So yeah,
I think that's some of the anxiety associated with changing habits, and the food is such a big habit for everyone, and changing that just induces anxiety.
I said the so yeah thing.
So yeah, the construct.
Well, thanks for hearing us out, and thanks for supporting us. The notes have been awesome. I really, really appreciate it, and we'll keep y'all updated. Ciao.
See ya.